This is every comic book I own. And this is Mr. Comic Book Man without his red sweater on. So we're going to overlook every comic book I have. This is a 1993 copy of Ren and Stimpy. This was released on April 5th, 1993, I believe. And to recap this comic book right here, Ren and Stimpy work for a bunch of space marines, and they have to get rid of crocodile men. So they disguise as crocodile men. These are some advertisements for games. But anyways, they become popular with the crocodile men and become crocodile soldiers and end up blowing the space marines' base. Ren realizes that they fucked up, and the space marines are revealed to be crocodile men, or croco men. Ignore these ads. So Ren and Stimpy do the same thing. They keep taking their mask off to fool one another. Ignore this. And eventually the croco men run out of masks to take off and they run away. And that's the end of this. But there's one thing I want to note about this comic is that it has a ad for a DC game in a Marvel comic. And again, there was that Captain America and Batman crossover comic. Is that even canon? So here's another one where Stimpy is a boxer. There's two stories in this one. One where Ren becomes an ambassador for Yaks, and Stimpy becomes a training boxer. There's some stuff for Dungeons and Dragons. Lots of stuff for Dungeons and Dragons. The 90s was full of D&D, wasn't it? Any of my viewers who were kids in the 80s or 90s, what was it like with Dungeons and Dragons? If the comments are open, comment your story of playing Dungeons and Dragons. I've never played it, never got into it, but tell me your stories. So, anyway, Stimpy becomes a boxer after years of training, and meanwhile, Ren, in the other story, is becoming a Yak ambassador, and he makes lots of money. But, something, advertisements, training, and a fight happens, and Stimpy does a high dive and somehow wins the tournament. Meanwhile, in the second story, they make all the money up, but Ren takes it and spends it on a vacation, which sounds like something he would do. Nihilistic fuck. And here's more ads for Dungeons and Dragons, or Dragon Strike. Is this related in any way? No clue. Here is The Blue Beetle, released in 2007. This is an ad for the 2006 film Superman Returns, which is not my favorite film, but it's okay. I like Superman. So this is about a superhero named the Blue Beetle, and I forgot what issue this was because I can't really find it. Doesn't really say. It's a really interesting comic, but I haven't really finished it yet. I'll get back to it soon, but right now I'm just showing off these comics. Here's another DC one. This is Final Crisis Aftermath Escape. Issue number 1 of 6, released in July 2009. It's essentially an escape comic. It's about a guy named Tom Tresser escaping something. Why does it keep showing me ads? Stop showing me ads! I want to get to the story! There we go. I like the inking in this one, and I like the way the shadows are. There's something about the way the shadows look in this comic book that really gives it its interesting nature. And the art style. Stop fucking showing! So this guy is trying to escape from something. That's all I can muster up so far. Is what the hell is that? Yeah, that's pretty much it. The days of television. Man, I remember when Cartoon Network was really popular. Deathlock, issue number 2. This one, I haven't been able to read either. I don't really read that much comic books as I do anymore. But, I'm just going off of what's in the book and certain stills I like from the book. I think this is around the time the MCU was getting very popular. I gotta find out when this was released. Doesn't really say its release date. 2015, so yeah, this is probably around... I think this was around the time the MCU was getting popular. Here's issue 3 of Deathlock. This follows up on the last story. Yeah, I was right. These were released around the time the MCU were getting very popular. Wait a second. 2014. When was this made? 2015. Okay, this is getting fucking weird. This video is not, like an ARG or some shit. I just find it interesting. Maybe it's a misprint. But anyways, here's the next one. Ook and Gluck, Kung Fu Caveman from the Future, which was my favorite comic book in, like, the, 2nd grade, I want to say. How old was I? Was I, like, 8 or 9? But it's about these Kung Fu cavemen. It's about these 2 cavemen who go to the future and learn Kung Fu and stop a businessman from taking over the caveman land. Plants vs. Zombies. It's Plants vs. Zombies, a comic book adaptation of a very iconic game. It's just about the plants and zombies with dinosaurs. It's about them fighting with dinosaurs. The Gumball comics. This is around the time when I started watching Cartoon Network again, and there were comics based on the Amazing World of Gumball. The cheat code is about Gumball and Darwin using a dangerous cheat code to unleash one of the characters from their video game, and it destroys the city of Elmore, but Anais stops it in time, blah blah blah, something 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 something, I can't read. And there's a side story about Penny, Anais, and Rachel, Tobias' sister, playing this said game. This is like a story that happens before the main one. But anyway, something something, Bobbert is the cheater, I don't know, I'm stupid. Yeah, that's pretty much the story. This is a comic book has, unfortunately, it's seen better days. And that really sucks. This one is about a cooking competition. It's about Bobbert getting mad and, like, going to the future and getting rid of all tastes known to man, something. Anyways, it's got a side story about Granny JoJo's rhubarb pie. This one doesn't have a side story and a completely different art style, and it's essentially Jeff Bezos' slavery program. This is just steampunk Star Wars, but I do like the story. These are some 1993 to, I believe, 95 stories of the Super Mario Brothers saving Princess Peach in the manga style. It's also got a story about Wario. So there you go. That is all the I smell a comic book. can't be here. DVDs, no. The record player? Oh, it's not coming from here. The suitcase? No, it's not in there either. Where is that smoke? It smells like comic book. Could be here. No, I looked at those already. Sonic movie? Oh yeah, I forgot there was a comic book that came with the Blu-ray. So this is like a little recap of the movie. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but it's the same story. Sonic comes from a magical land where he uses rings to travel. He goes so fast during a baseball game that he fucks up, and Tom Wachowski, otherwise known as Donut Lord, startles Sonic and he loses his rings. Dr. Robotnik shows up, and Tom and Sonic go on this long journey to San Francisco. I still don't know how he managed to get from Montana to California. That would take at least 2 days, but given the fact they stayed in a hotel, I'm guessing they stopped. A fight breaks out at a bar. Then Sonic throws his friends off a building and defeats Robotnik, sending him to the Shadow Realm, I guess. And that's the end. This is just a recap of the movie. I already did that like twice. Now this is the third time I've like recapped the movie. Never doing it again. And now I gotta put this movie back. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the comic books I own. I'll make another video soon. Later.